right, man. Welcome back. It's good to see everyone. Cesar, it's great to see you. We haven't seen each other in a couple weeks, man. I got to tell you, appreciate people looking out and reaching out to us. Cesar and I were both out for the last couple weeks. Without getting too much into it, Cesar gives me a call and he's dealing with some medical issues. He's in the hospital and like, what? From 0 to 100, just like that. And then, then the next
Did
week,
I get out?
I end up in the hospital and dealing with those issues as well. And so we needed some time to recover, and now we're back at it. But I've got some follow up things I got to do, Caesar as well, and you know what? It actually just makes sense. It gives relevance to exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I'll share with you that I had a mini stroke, and that's a pretty serious thing. I had been experiencing some numbness and some confusion, and really a lot of confusion. And then I started slurring my words, and next thing you know, I'm in the ER and going through all that stuff, man. So uh, again, it just makes you think, right? Like we have to acknowledge we're all here just temporarily, man. And
hmm
and even Caesar, he's significantly younger than I am, but in one split second, your body can do stuff to you that if you don't have medical insurance or access to a care facility, you can be in a lot of
Yeah.
trouble real quick. And we're
Oh,
lucky, man.
absolutely.
That's the kind of privilege that we talk about. Actually, that our
hmm
jobs provide us this privilege of having great medical insurance, um, and we have to acknowledge that there are individuals who don't have that, and life is tougher for them. But that's why we do what we do, man. Like this is to for all of us to acknowledge that we're just here temporarily, and when it's time, it's time. And
Yeah.
for a few weeks back, could have very easily been the end of.
Either one of us.
Y después, y no tenemos co-host. Yeah, después, like, hey, my
Right?
co-host, my co-host ain't gonna make it this week. Why not? He did. He did. Vato. He did.
He played out the
He
our
played out the
scenario.
scenario.
He played out the scenario. Ay, ay,
Well,
ay.
you know, in a few years, when one of us is looking back at this, one of us is gonna want to have played out that scenario. That's just a reality, Like we were driving the other day, and it was me and the kids and my wife, and I said, "Did you know that in 40, 50, 60 years, one of us is gonna have buried everyone in the car, right?
Ooh,
Like if
man,
you think
it
about it,
gives
I
you
mean,
chills just to think about it.
yeah, it's like one of us is gonna outlive everybody else. And as a parent, you of course you want your children to outlive you, but the children don't want to think that one day their mom's going to die, dad's going to die, and brothers and sisters, and they're going to be the last sibling. And we see that. That's just how it works. And some families who don't have nieces and nephews, that's the end of the line.
Yeah, that's where it ends,
Crazy.
unfortunately.
Well, that'll never happen to Mexicans because we have nieces and nephews. Tenemos montonon.
Yeah, and some of us that don't even know their uncles until what? Until Saturday, you realize you were an uncle?
Ooh,
You like
me?
what I'm an uncle?
Oh yeah, I forgot. No, because I forget. I forget the definition of it. I know I'm an uncle, but I forgot what the definition of great uncle was. What I was thinking, not uncle. I
I
know I'm
was
an
about
uncle.
to say, I met like 4 or 5 of your
No, I know I'm
nieces
an
and
uncle. I
nephews.
got
I know you're an uncle.
I got confused of what a great uncle was. I was trying to
Mm,
figure out, am I a great uncle? But did we
you
ever
probably
determine, am
are.
I a great? I don't know.
Do your nephews and nieces have kids already?
That's right. I do have a nephew who's had children. So check
There
it
you
out.
go.
While we were gone, a bunch of people emailed us and texted us like, "Hey,
Y'all good?
did I miss? yeah, did I miss this week's episode or what? Like, no, man, we got sick, and we're a crew of two. You know, we're the co-producers and co-writers and co-todo,
Uh-huh.
and we lost 50% of our crew one week, and then 50% the next week, and so we're
We
coming
were
back. One of
out.
the emails, yeah, one of the emails, Caesar has it, and they had some questions after they checked on us and stuff, but then they had some questions. I was like, you know what, dude, that would be a great topic just for us to discuss. And so today's that's what we're gonna do, man. We're just gonna use that email. So thank you, whoever sent that in. Caesar's gonna read it, and then we're just kind of go through that and use that as the topic of today's show. And I think if I remember correctly, it's well, you read it. You read the email, see what they said. I don't remember
Yeah,
exactly.
for sure. It's a long email, so I'm gonna paraphrase a little bit here and there, but
So it came
the
from
gist of it. What?
what about the who? What about the? No, don't say their name. Don't say their name.
No, no, we'll keep it
Vato,
anonymous.
woman, man, woman.
They'll know who it is whenever we're reading it.
Okay.
Um, so starting off, it says, you guys talk about what would you guys do if you guys had 30 days and how would you react to that scenario and what legacy you want to leave behind. I'm posting now this scenario to talk about how to get there and how to become that. So the scenario looks like this. Imagine you're meeting your 80-year-old self. Where do you want to be? What do you want your family to know about you by then? Um, specifically, targeting men and what kind of things do they want to leave behind? What kind of things that they want to be able to say to that 80-year-old self? Advice that 80-year-old self would give you at this point in your life. What do you need to hear to continue moving forward and make things you want to make happen? And then what would you ask that 80-year-old self? Like what kind of questions do you want to know about your future? What kind of things do you want to know um, on how you got to be that 80-year-old self? And what do you need to know what do you need to do and know to start to get there? So we started thinking about this question and it poses a very intriguing scenario as well. 'Cause yeah, we talk about death, we talk about having 30 days, but we don't talk about having 30, 40, 50 years still here on Earth and being alive. So what are we going to do with for Fred? What is he going to do with his 30, 35 years left? What am I going to do with my 50 whatever years till I get to 80? Like it's a long time coming. It's more time that I've been alive right now for me to get to 80. So even to think about it to that extent, it's a little crazy, but I mean, we might get to that point, we might not, but I think it poses a good question.
Well,
Think
yeah.
about it.
Thank you, whoever wrote that. Like those are great questions that kind of change the narrative of what we've been doing. We've been
Hmm.
really talking about everything up until this point, and then giving ourselves 30 days. And what they're proposing is, well, what if you live to 80? And what
Hmm.
question? And that's a pretty fascinating thing because I was just talking to a colleague today about she was talking about her mom and her mom's age and how old she is. She's in her mid to late 70s, and how just she's with it, man. It's like nothing to her. And I said, I work with a gentleman who is 76, 77 years old,
Hmm.
and he runs circles around everybody I know. Just just so smart, and just can handle all that. And you wish you can be like that at that age, and I've never thought of being that age. And what
Hmm.
and I even if I thought about it, I probably figure I'd be just near death. But these individuals are just rocking it, man. And so that's kind of what this person was asking, right? It's like, what if you lived to 80? What advice do you have for yourself? What does that look like? And I like it, man. That's a cool concept.
Yeah, I think puts things in perspective after being out for 2 weeks, being sick and being at the hospital. Uh, it's just puts life into perspective. Like, what do you want to do from now? What do you want to do? Like, I was thinking about it. Like, what do you want to do that you're out of the hospital, whether it was minor, whether it was whatever we were there for. Like, what do you want to do now? What do you want to accomplish with your life from here till you're 80? What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Not just now. You want to have kids? Like for me, do I want to have kids? Do I want to have a big family? Do I want to have a lot of grandkids? I mean, I don't know. Things that I might not even think about right now that are eventually going to come in into play into my life. But yeah, I think it does pose a really intriguing scenario for us.
You know, Caesar, I have kids, and I ask myself if I want to
Mhm.
have kids. Because sometimes, bro,
Man,
no, you know,
tremendos,
I joke,
tremendos.
but no, man, I joke, but man, I love my kids so much. They're just, I have four very unique, um, different, you know, from each other,
Hmm.
children, young adults, and young and soon to be young adults. And man, I honestly could not have asked for a better life with children. And I'm sorry to my parents that I probably was not a good child, but that didn't get returned to me. I got great kids, man. I really, really do. I'm lucky, man. I'm
Yeah,
lucky.
they're pretty great kids.
Great kids. So listen. So I'll ask you. The very first one they said, you know, what what do you want your family to know about you?
Man, that's hard. Um, I think I don't know. We're talking about what do I want that 80 year
Well, I
old
mean,
to know
based on
about
their question,
me?
is that kind of how they asked the question? Like, what would you want your family to know about you?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess to get to that age, to get to 80, that you worked hard. I think for me, that's what it is. That I've dedicated my life to. Well, I mean, after college and after everything that I went through during those years, I've dedicated my life and my work, my whatever I try to do outside to give back. You know, to give back to our community, to give back to the people that helped me get to where I'm at now. And I think that's going to be something that I continue to do till I'm in those last 30 days. Or I'm in that deathbed. I think that's one of the things that I want people to know about me, my family especially, that I did everything that I did because I wanted to leave an impact, not just for me, not just for the family, but for the community itself. I think our community lacks those mentors, I guess, those people that are actually giving back to the community. I think whenever we look back at it, those people that are doing great tend to close themselves off. They don't tend to go back to the community since they think they're living a different lifestyle. They live with different people. They associate themselves with different people. They don't necessarily come back to
Yeah,
where they were raised, to where they were from, and they forget those roots. I think for me, that's one of the things that always keep close to my heart, just where I grew up, what I did, what happened, and how I can make, even if it's somebody, even if it's just one person, lives better for what I do and what can achieve. I mean, if I can help somebody into college, if I could do, I mean, whatever the case may be. I mean. There's plenty of examples to go about it, but I think definitely that I dedicated myself to make me a better person, to make this world better, and for our community to thrive and be successful. Because we need it. We need more champions in our community that are there to help the community out.
100%, man. You know, we need more individuals advocating for change, facilitating change, and being the lead,
Hmm.
taking the lead on impacting that change, man. For sure. You know, for me, I think I'd want my family to know that that life was tough, that life was not easy, and yet, while they may have not seen me struggle, I struggled sometimes to smile. I struggled sometimes to just make it work, bro. And like when I talk to other individuals, I talked to a colleague the other day, and he and I had just a great conversation about, it's actually kind of a tough subject. We talked about feeling disrespected at our jobs. And you know, it's kind of a common, I think maybe a common conversation, but this one was different because him talking about his perspective, me talking about my perspective, and we both um, we have similar kind of backgrounds from two different communities, if you will. But the bottom line was that respect is such a big part of who we are as men that in our daily engagements, there were days where we felt disrespected. And we had to take a long drive home, Caesar, so that we don't, so we didn't take that energy, that
Mhm.
negativity with us to
Yeah.
our inside our home, bro. Because our home is our sanctuary. Our,
Yeah.
the rooms, our kitchen, our everything is like that's our place of peace here at home, man. This is where I'm happiest. And if I were to bring stuff from my job here to my house, I've committed a major sin, an error.
Yeah.
And the point of our conversation was that there are times, bro, where we had to lie to ourselves and then lie to our families as we walked in that house and they said, "Hey, Dad, how was your day? What? It was great, man. My great day was
Hmm.
great. When your mom says, "Mijo, cómo se fue? ¿Cómo te fue tu día?" You don't say, "Actually, um, people disrespected me. They questioned me in here. They made me feel like this, and I had self doubt. Like all those real shit stuff. We don't
Yeah.
talk about that,
Okay.
and a lot of people experience that. But it was just this day. It was just my colleague and I sharing, and it was a beautiful heart to heart, bro. And we were on that same level of like, yeah, man, we've had to lie to our families, specifically to our children. When they
Hmm.
said, "How was your day at work, Dad?" It was great. How was your day at school? And you get to it, which made us both pause and think, could our children even be lying to us? Are they having a tough day at school, Caesar?
Yeah.
And they're figuring out a way how to adapt and overcome and say, "Oh, it was great," but really they're getting bullied or treated a certain way. That stuff don't change, bro. It's from middle school all the way into adulthood.
Yeah.
There's still those same, as people say, demons and evil spirits, bro.
It stays with
Negativity.
you. Yeah. No, that's definitely hard. And that's the thing, especially if the kids don't see it in their homes. If they don't see, they think everything. Oh, you gotta come home. Everything is great. They need to be able to get that out. The kids need to be able to get that out. Or sometimes, like for me, whenever I was dealing with all of that stuff growing up, for me it was not putting any more burdens on my family. For me it was I'm gonna internalize it. I'm gonna deal with it however I can.
Right.
Because I'm supposed to be a man. I'm supposed to handle it. I'm supposed to
Correct.
deal with it. I'm supposed to know what to do
Right.
whenever these things are happening, and not bring it back to the house, and not tell my mom, oh, this is what's going on. So yeah, there were days that we come home. That was a crappy day at school. I mean, now crappy days at work. I come home now, everything was great, blah blah. Everything was perfect. I did this, blah blah blah. Everything's amazing. But deep down, that's what you were saying. We're fighting to even put a smile, or we're faking that smile most of the time, or some of the times whenever we're going through some of those stuff.
And you know what, Caesar? It's fair to make the assumption that our fathers and grandfathers, our
Absolutely.
mothers and grandmothers, aunts and uncles all did the same, bro. Can you
Yeah.
imagine, like back in the day when people are working the fields, people are working, or I mean, you think we're disrespected? They was
But you got to
disrespected.
take it. You got to take
You
it.
didn't even
It's.
know. You just thought, hey, my
Hmm.
dad works hard. Yeah, está comiendo. He's having his lunch today or dinner, and he goes to work the next day. You don't know what he's dealing with.
Hmm.
And people
Yeah,
used to talk crazy to each other.
man. Oh yeah, yeah.
And
I've heard it from my mom. I think we've been able to change that in our family environment a little bit to where we can talk about things like that. We can talk
yeah,
about, hey, today was a shitty day. Today was just a crappy day. Was not a good day for anybody, and be able to leave it. Not necessarily bring it back home, but talk about it, get rid of it, and move on. Because
well,
if we internalize it and don't talk about it, that's when it ends up hurting us at the end, a lot longer and a lot worse.
and that's how people talk about like a reflection of that generational
Hmm.
trauma. You know,
Absolutely.
if people like, hey, why he or she tripping and this and that, like, you don't know what this person brings in multi generations already of being traumatized, of being talked to a certain way, and then when they come and they're in an office or there's whatever the situation is, people come at them a certain way and they're already ready for it, dude. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So
Oh
everyone
yeah.
has to be aware of that for sure. That's
Absolutely.
crazy, dude. Let me ask you this. All right, so one of the other questions was what advice would you give, like, right now? What, as the 80-year-old, what advice are they giving you? Give me a
That's a
couple
good one.
tidbits of advice you would give yourself right now.
Man, don't stop. Keep grinding. I think sometimes we come to a place of comfort and a place of where we don't want to continue to grow or we don't want to get out of our own bubble. But I think we gotta grow. We gotta continuously be learning something new. Gotta be doing something new. Try to keep our minds active. So definitely do not stop. Keep going. No matter what kind of barriers they come in front of you, go through them and deal with them. I mean, it's not the first time where we're gonna face difficulties. It's not the first time we're gonna face barriers. Uh, I mean, for me, like I said, I've been in this country what 20 years. These last 20 years have been crazy. Um, with barriers, obstacles that I need to overcome. So it's nothing gonna change. Nothing's new. But again, we come to a place of comfort where we're like, I'm already past that. Oh, I already dealt with that. I don't have to deal with it. But no, as we continue to grow, there are going to be different obstacles. As I continue to grow and I continue to, let's say, whenever I have a family, there's going to be obstacles that I'm going to have to cross. And if we get stuck in that moment, or we get stuck in the present of, oh, I don't have to deal with it, or none of that, then I think that's definitely one of the advice that I would give myself. And also enjoy life, man. I think that's also a big part of it. Yeah, work. Yeah, keep grinding. Yeah, do whatever you have to, but enjoy life. This is the only one we get, and we're, I mean, we're never going to be this young again. So go out, do whatever you want to do, have fun, enjoy it. Travel if you can, travel if you want. Take the opportunities, take the risks. Like I've been wanting to skydive since I was 21. I
I
wanted to.
do that.
That was on my bucket list to skydive for my 21st birthday. I haven't done it because I put it aside and stuff like that. But then I look back at it and I'm like, dang, I really do want to do it. Like it's something that I want to do. So enjoy that life. I mean, we only have it, but sometimes you're like, oh man, it's too expensive. Oh, well, I don't have time. Oh, I don't have this. I don't have that. Man, just enjoy life. Uh, it's again, it's the only one we have, and we don't know if we're gonna wake up tomorrow or not. So I think
You know,
that's the biggest advice.
and you're right, dude. It's like, so many of us live that life where we can always find a reason not to. Like, a lot of people find a reason to do it. A lot
Yeah.
of us find a reason not to, right? It's like, no, let's get the money, the time. I don't know, the whatever. Just, hey, like Nike said, just do it, bro. Just do it, because look, in a few years, you don't know where you're gonna be, if
Mhm.
you're even gonna be,
Yeah.
like,
Que
real
dijo Drake?
shit.
YOLO.
And,
YOLO.
and
You
that's
only live once.
listen. So check it out. So my advice to myself is, to the soon to be 52-year-old Fred. I'm 80 years old. I'm telling myself, keep taking care of your health and actually step it up.
Yeah.
Because you think you're going to live to only 52, 53, and then you don't have to worry about that. It's not true, bro. You're going to live
Mhm.
longer than that. I need you to take care of your health. So what I've
Yeah.
been doing is I've been supplementing one of my meals for a salad and one of my meals for a protein drink. I like
Yeah.
it. I feel better. My energy is good. Keep doing that. Increase the exercise. So take care of your health overall. Keep doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to
That's
give
huge.
myself some advice. Eat the meal you want and compliment the chef. Two pieces, right? So you can't eat steak like that all the time, but if you go every 3 months, every 6 months, or like me, I like Texas style barbecue.
Mm.
I can't do it every day. Number one, the cost is ridiculous.
Yeah. Prices are going up like crazy.
Shoot. But I like my barbecue. I like to go to Blacks, Terry Blacks over here in Dallas, and and in McKinney Hutchins. There's some places I
Hmm.
like that. Ernie's in Greenville, and
Yeah.
compliment the chef too. Like, hey, bro, whoever's doing this, man, like, good job, because you empowered somebody in their craft. And I give thanks to everything I do, man. If I see, hey, man, you do a great job of cleaning the floors, or I can tell you really love your job, like, that goes a long way, man. And the last bit of
Yeah.
advice I always was told in my life: don't burn bridges. Because
Yes.
you never know, we're gonna run into them again, this, that. And I'm gonna modify that for me, because I'm a different kind of dude. I'm gonna modify that to, I wrote it down right here. Limit the amount of bridges that you burn, because you know what, bro? There's some sorry ass there's some sorry ass fucking people in this world that you don't need to
Hmm.
be around. There's
Nope.
people that your body is gonna reject, that your heart and your mind is gonna reject. And I'm telling you, man, these people love to see you struggle. They love to see you in pain. They love to know that you're struggling. You had a mini stroke? Yeah. They like that.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you is this. Yeah, in the world they say don't burn any bridges. And what I'm telling you is, you probably shouldn't burn all your bridges. You shouldn't burn most of your bridges. But a couple of those, light that motherfucker on fire.
Hmm.
Fuck
Oh
those
yeah.
people, Caesar.
Real quick.
So the 80-year-old Fred is telling me right now, ¿sabes qué, culero? All those people ain't right for you. All those people ain't good for you.
Yep.
Find out who is. Dime con quién andas, bro. Tell me your small circle of friends. I'm gonna tell you who you are, and I also have an indication of who they are and what y'all gonna be, what y'all about. Not everyone is in it for you, bro. Not everyone is in it to take care of you. Not everyone can tolerate, like,
Hmm.
I like to say a little bit of bad words here and there. Some people are going to be critical on that, and then they're going to go over there and rob the church, bro. They're going to go over there and violate a young person and stuff like that. I'm just saying, dude,
Yeah.
they're going to be real slick on how they map it out. But I'm telling you right now, man, I learned a tough lesson in life, and I was trying to save all the bridges, dude. But some of them were going to the same
Oh.
island. I have access.
Yeah.
I don't need all those bridges, dude.
I don't
And so
know.
I got about 10 names just right off the top of my head. Sasquatch
Mm.
ass motherfuckers. Fuck them.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, you're right, and
Whales.
that's it's. There's no.
Sea creatures.
What's
Kraken.
that saying? What's that Mexican saying? No soy monedita de oro para caerle bien a todos. I mean, we're gonna find people that we don't care about, and just, I mean, we don't need to interact with them. We don't need to be around them. They don't need to be around us.
And vice
Burn
versa.
that
And you're
bridge.
right, dude. We're not for everybody either.
No,
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
my style ain't for everybody, man. I'm a little bit on the rougher side. I'm a little bit this and that, or maybe I'm too critical here, or not critical enough. My style ain't for everybody, and I accept it. I'm too liberal here, and I'm too conservative over here, man. But I
Hmm.
know this. I know me. I love me, and I'm happy with me. I
Yeah.
really am. And if you're going through some other stuff or whatever it is you're going through, that you need to do that over there with your circle of friends and your bridges in and out of your community. I know who I represent.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I like to say that we are an acquired taste. That's what we are.
Oh
We're
yeah.
an acquired taste.
Oh
We're
yeah.
not for everybody.
It's not for
But
everybody.
once you get to figure us out, you want to be around us for
I
sure.
agree, man. I think at the end of the day, Caesar, you and I are just we're speaking, como dice our homeboy Roy. We're just speaking our truth, man. It may not be your truth,
Yeah.
but it's ours. So I'm not lying, and I can't make myself sound changed to be a fit for you. I
Mhm.
only know me. I only know my past, and I know
Exactly.
my present, and I believe I can determine my future. And
Absolutely.
Caesar and I have been doing this together as a team for a while, and we are an acquired taste. We're not for everybody. When we present, not it's easy to be critical of us, like, wow, 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 whatever. I like that, but if you criticizing me, that means my name is on your mind.
Still in your mouth, bro.
Hey, we in your mouth, dude. So why are we in your mouth? Why are we on your mind like that? Because there's some
Hmm.
sense of whether it's jealousy or intrigue, right? Like I don't if I'm going to talk
Insecurity.
about you, insecurity, whatever it is. That's the tougher side, like that. So like when you're getting this kind of energy today is a because we have to deal with some of this stuff. But if the 80-year-old is telling me he's saying, "Hey, dude, I'm releasing you of that of that weight. I'm releasing you
Yeah.
of worrying if that person is right for you or not. They're not. If you're working if you're listening right now, you're working at a place that you're not happy. Be careful how much energy you give that place. If
Absolutely.
if energy is not it's not forever. We only have a certain amount of energy. It fits in our my body. I got a 5'3" frame. That's not a whole lot of energy. So I can't
Chiquito.
dispense too much. Poquito energy, bro. I can't dispense that much. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna give you all my energy. And if you're not
Hmm.
reciprocating that, if you're not giving me any love and respect back, it's like what people say, like, dude, I like about you. I said, what's up? I said, when I'm not in the room, you defended me. I did, man. And find more people. And I wish I had people in my circle like that too. Like, hey, don't that part ain't true. And I remember me and my homeboy used to defend this other guy, and that got us in trouble. We say, hey, dude, that's not true what you're saying about him. And they
Hmm.
we got in trouble for that. Now, not immediate. They stretch it out. They try to hide it and
Yeah.
interweave it into some other stuff. But people don't like that, man. People don't like when you stick up for
Mm-mm.
others. Well, we're a stick up for
Mm-mm.
others kind of crew, man.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Yeah. And I think talking about energy too, like if you're in a place, whether it be work, whether it be a relationship, whether it be friends, if whenever you're there, they're not refueling that energy, you don't need to be there. You're just wasting your time. Like that's what we like to hang out with each other because we know that whenever we're together, that's gonna refuel us, that's gonna recharge
Yeah.
us, and
Yeah.
we're gonna keep going. Like
You know what?
that's the kind of people you need in your life.
Absolutely, dude. I know I like the circle that I keep. Right? When I want, if
Yeah.
I want to drink, honestly, dude, and I don't reach out to CJ like that all the time. But if I say, hey, bro, I need a drink, dude, like I need a drink, come drink with me. If you were going through other changes, like if you couldn't drink or whatever, like whatever. But you and I, we like to drink every once in a while, and it really
Hmm.
is every once in a while. Okay, um, and like I literally once or twice a year together is when we get to drink.
Yeah.
But those moments are like it's like refueling, man. Because it's not just the drink is just a way to kind of relax a little bit, but it's really the opportunity to
Hmm.
chat and talk with someone that you're so much alike that you can agree on and disagree on shit, and
Hmm.
no one gets their feelings hurt.
Hmm.
I bet you there's got to be a way more stuff that we disagree on, but we don't really know because we don't trip like that, dude. We really don't.
It is what it is. I mean, we're like I said, we're all one individual. We're all gonna have different ideas. If you want to have the same person, then I mean, go have twins or something, and still then they're not gonna be the same.
I
But
know
yeah, no,
that for
it's
a fact.
also healing. And there you go. You got twins. You know that
I got
exactly right.
twins. They are nothing alike.
Nothing alike. So well, no, nobody's gonna be alike. And like you said, it's also healing to come into a space where you can be yourself and just be yourself. Talk about whatever. Because I mean, sometimes we talk about the randomest stuff, whatever we're at, or sometimes we go and we get deep. But it's healing to be able to know that there's that group of people, that individuals, like you're able to do that with, that you're able to have that with, and you don't have to keep everything bottled up inside. And for us men, I think that's a great avenue to go. A lot of us, or a lot of men don't like to go to therapists. They think that, oh, therapy's not for them, this and that. Well, get you a friend, man. Get you your best friend. Get you a buddy that you like. Go have a drink. Talk about life. Talk about what's going on and release it.
But in a healthy way. Like don't misinterpret what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like if you need a drink, if you're just looking for an excuse to get drunk, dude, and get messed up, or the only time you can communicate with someone is drinking, that's not healthy. I'm not talking about that.
No.
Literally, Caesar and I get together and have a drink once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And it's almost always at a conference in a hotel room where we're not going to act a fool. No one sees us because I'm a pretty private dude. I don't want anyone to see me, saying something dumb or acting dumb or falling down.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that, dude. You don't want that image.
No.
It's the same way. Like when I got sick last week or two, I had that mini stroke, and then my wife's reaching out to some people, and then when I got out of the hospital, they reached out to me. I was embarrassed, man. I don't want the image, I guess, of weakness that I had a stroke, and people are gonna have to like treat me differently or be super cautious. Like, I don't want that, and I also don't want it to be true. But that's my new reality. And so I just
Hmm.
shared that because I wasn't upset with my wife, but I was kind of bothered. Like, why are you telling people? And she's like, well,
Yeah.
I wanted one or two people at your office to know, you get dizzy and you fall down, whatever. It's not like, whatever, you just getting dizzy because you're spinning around and being silly. Like, you have some medical issues going on. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, I got you. But the man side of me doesn't like that. You know what I mean? We don't want
Yeah.
to reflect that weakness, man.
You're showing that weakness.
Yeah, that and so that's part of our kryptonite as men,
Hmm.
and women for that matter as well. I'm not a expert in women, but I know men. Not that I'm an expert in men either, right? But when I was in the army, nah, me tampoco, dude. Now you make me look crazy with that laugh. Did y'all see that? Rewind that right there.
No,
All I said
nothing.
was, still, boy, I ain't messing with you. Let me ask you this, dude. Let me change the subject because you're being weirdo. You're being a weirdo. Como dice mi esposa, you're being a weirdo.
We
Um,
do.
what? So what do you want to know from the 80-year-old you?
Ooh, watch.
And by the way, the person who wrote this, I like whoever sent these in, dude. Like, if you can respond, let them know, dude. Those are legit questions, and
Bro, look at
send
you
them the link,
thinking.
and encourage more people to send this question. I like this, dude. But what do you want to know from the 80-year-old you?
Yeah, and if you guys are watching, answer this below on the comments or email us. And we want to know. We want to get to know you guys too. What would I want to know for my 80-year-old? Man,
Maybe nothing. Maybe we don't want to know, bro.
I mean, maybe not. I mean, maybe I just want to keep everything a secret and see how I get there. But
Would
I don't
would
know.
you
I
would
think,
would anyone listening want to know when they die? Like, hey, what's the actual date that I die? Would you want to know that
oh,
date?
when I so this brings back memories. Back in the day, whenever I was still in Mexico, there was this website where you would put your information, like your birth date and stuff like that, like things that you like or whatever, and then it would give you like a scenario and a date when you were gonna die. Like it's like, okay, so if you like action
Smoking,
movies or
drinking,
whatever,
higher rate of death.
yeah, but it was like fun stuff. Like it's like you like action movies or whatever. It's like, okay, you're gonna die in a car crash in this date, but this date at this time, you're only gonna live to be 67, blah blah blah. All your friends are gonna warn you, blah blah. Like holy crap! And like as a kid, that was like what we did. That was fun for us. I mean, we went in there like, oh, you're gonna die tomorrow. Oh, you're gonna die next year. Uh, obviously it's so I don't know. I think. What I want to know? I think so. Honestly, I think I would. Because I think that would give me even more of a purpose and an intentionality on what I would do for those few years. But at the same time, you don't need to know when you're going to die to have that intentionality and have that drive and that dedication to whatever it is that you need to do or you got to do. Um, so it's a double-edged sword. But what would I want to know for my 80-year-old self? I don't know. Maybe if I what do people think about us? What do people think about the 28, 29, 30-year old me? Am I making an impact? What I'm doing doesn't matter. Did, I don't know, did we struggle to get there? Did we accomplish our goals? Did we live life how we wanted to? Like I was mentioning earlier, did we enjoy life? Did we get to skydive for the first time? Did we get to go on those crazy adventures that you want to know? We traveled. think that's what I would want to know more than anything. Yeah, no, that's a tough one.
I think, yeah, it's tough. I think I just want to know, like, did I do everything that I could from I'm 51 right now, from 51 to 80, to make the best out of my life, to
Hmm.
impact other people's lives. You know, I really, you say it all the time, dude. I really believe that we're not here for us, the individual. We're here for our families and for our communities. And I just want to know, did I live the legacy that I wanted to live? And my legacy that I want is to impact and empower others. And and whether that's through education, whether it's through a little resource like a podcast, or the book that
Hmm.
we've talked about writing. Um, we just got a chapter accepted. We're going to be writing a chapter.
Yeah.
We have the shell to that. Pretty exciting update there. Did we meet the goals we wanted, man? And did we do right by the people that we serve? And that's important
Hmm.
to us. We're not asking about millions of dollars, money, acquisition. We're not asking about title.
Uh,
We really don't give a shit about any of that, dude. We care about the impact,
not really.
because people had an impact on our lives, and we just want to reciprocate that. We want to help facilitate and impact that change, man. And I think that's what I would ask the 80-year-old Fred, man. And you know, so what was the last question? What do you need to know? I wrote that down. I don't know if I wrote it down correctly, of the
Yeah.
last
What do
question.
you need to know? What do you need to know to get there as an 80 years old? Whatever you want to be as an 80-year-old self. Like, what do we got to start doing now to have that impact that we want to leave, that
I'm going to tell you
legacy?
right now. I'm going to tell you what I think, and this applies to every scenario that we've discussed, every age that listens to us, every gender, every ethnicity. I'm going to say a few things here, and I think that we all need to. You set your goals, you write them out, and you post them. Not social media
Mhm.
post. I mean, put it on your refrigerator, print it out, put it on your wall, whatever, dude. So that you know, if your goal is to lose 10, 15 pounds in 10 months, if it's written somewhere on the wall, on the
Yeah.
refrigerator, you're going to, every time, you're going to, like, shoot, that's right, that's right, that's right. If it's to, hey, dude, just be nice to someone every day. You know what? I didn't do it yesterday. Let me be nice. Whatever that means, whatever your goals are, you post them.
Mhm.
I'm going to say that I want you to be intentional about the friends that you keep. That's true for
Yeah.
my 11-year-olds. That's true for you, Cesar. It's true for me. We
Mhm.
don't, at our age, dude, we don't use the word friend a whole lot. Like, we got colleagues and compas or whatever. We have tios and tias and cousins, but like my homeboys, honestly, man, I've made very few friends since I left the army. And the reason why is because in the army, you're going through a phase of your life where you anticipate dying with these men and women, but
Mhm.
mostly men. And so I hadn't made a whole lot of friends since I have made friends. Uh, but be mindful of the friends that you keep, and be sure that they want you to be as successful as you want to be. Know that life is not fair, my G. Life,
Mhm.
dude, it's gonna take all twists and turns, and promotions aren't fair. And if you're looking for that, you're not gonna ever be happy. If you're looking for
Mhm.
joy at work, you're never gonna find happiness. The
No.
joy and the love is at home. The joy and love is within yourself.
Mhm.
So take your ass home and love yourself and love others. But the love is not going to come. The accolades maybe will come from work a little bit, but you're not going to get
Yeah.
the respect
The
that you would get at
recognition.
home. Yeah, you're not going to get it, bro. Years ago, I was treated a certain way by some colleagues at work. They did me pretty dirty. But the funny thing is, what they couldn't do was take away the respect I had earned in the communities. And the communities were the students, were
Hmm.
my clients, were the audience, if you will. They couldn't interrupt that, man. And there's a certain
No.
beautiful joy associated with it.
Absolutely.
You know, when you're respected like that, ain't nothing anybody at work could do. What I like to do is I start my day with the right kind of music. I listen to music in the morning though. I have to listen to music, as they say, right? Oh, with a high note. Start off with a high note. My high note, my high note is a very eclectic musical blend. Whether it's reggae, Tejano music, country music from the 80s and 90s. I like that genre. Heavy metal throughout. Um, just all kinds of music, dude. But I have specific music I listen to, and I listen to it loud. So if you're gonna do it,
Mm,
for me, I like it loud. Also, if I'm drinking or having a good time or sitting outside watching the sunset,
yes.
I love music to help set that mood, set the tone. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
just me, and that's kind of like how would I get there? What do I need to do? Those are the things, and I think um, my last bit of advice to you, I guess, is my dad used to always tell me, don't ever lend money, you give it away. Shoot, I ain't give my money away. No, no, no. Listen to the lesson.
Hmm.
If you can't afford to give it away, then don't lend it, homie. If you have
Hmm.
$100, if you say, "Hey, dude, can I borrow $100?" If you have it, give it to him and say goodbye to it, because you don't want to lose a friendship for $100. If you
Yep.
don't have it, Caesar, I ain't got it. I got $20, and then you say goodbye to it. If you can afford 100, give it to him and say goodbye to it. You don't want to lose relationships for money. It's the same
Yeah.
thing people say about books, right? If you really love the book, if you love reading this book, man, it's one my favorite
Don't
book
mind it.
I have a real simple book, Caesar. It's called The Four Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. You can't borrow
Hmm.
it. I won't lend it to anyone. But you know what I've done? I bought a copy for people. Hey, I really like this book. Can I
Yeah.
have it? Can I read? Can I borrow it? Check it out, bro. I'm gonna put this on my Amazon. I'm gonna send it to your house. It's yours in about 3 or 4 or 5 days. But this one's mine. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. I don't lend my car out. My dad taught me you don't lend your car out. Hey, Hey, can I get a ride? I'll give you a ride over there. You can't take my
Hmm.
car. If you wreck my car, what am I gonna do? You're not gonna help me.
Yeah.
So that's my last lesson there is like, and how do I get there? How do I get to 80? I get to 80 by living a life where there's no resentment, where there's just peace. So if you want to borrow money from me, I always got, 20, 30, 40, $50. I'm gonna lend it to you, but say goodbye. If you pay me, you pay me. But I'm not gonna
Hmm.
hound you for no $50. I'm also not gonna let you borrow
Yeah.
5,000 because that money's not coming back. Now I will say
Yeah.
this. I'll say this, and I'm gonna ask you this last question here, Caesar. If I win the lotto, I'm changing the lives of everybody around me.
Yeah.
Everybody. And I suspect you would do the same, dude. It was all the money you had. Like in 10 years, that money is gone. Like it's not in my bank, but it's already reinvested to the community. It comes back somehow,
Absolutely.
and that's and
Yeah.
that's why we're dangerous. People like us are dangerous because we're giving that money away.
Yeah. We don't care. I mean, we don't care about it. We care about making an impact more than anything, I think.
Impact,
So
change.
if we can do that financially, we can do that with money. Hell, give it all to us. But that's why we don't
I'm
get it
telling,
either, because we're just gonna give it out. That's
I'm
why we
telling
don't
you,
get it.
man. I envision winning hundreds of millions of dollars. Like I have this vision.
Yeah.
I'm gonna win that money. They're gonna take the taxes. I'm gonna have still hundreds of millions of dollars, and then I'm gonna start. I'm gonna get an attorney and say, "Here's the deal, bro. I'm gonna give this money out. I need you to help me, because they can't know. Can't nobody know. Because I'm not. I'm just trying to take care of the people that I know.
Hmm.
I'm gonna take care of everybody. That's what I'm gonna do. In my last day, when they lower my casket down, dude, I'm gonna go with a sense of pride and a sense of joy. And the only regret, and I don't live with regrets either, but I'm gonna have one regret that I didn't buy my mom a house, man. That's my only regret. Like I told my colleague today, I said yesterday was the 3 year anniversary of my mom passing away. My only regret in life because I know I can't change it like that. I wish,
Mhm.
because since I was a little boy, I said I'm gonna buy my mom a house one day. I never got to buy my mom a house, dude. So that one hurts me a little bit, but it don't keep me from living. But that's my motivation, honestly, Brandon, to make money or to win the lotto. I don't care how, and buy other moms' houses, buy some other
Yeah.
people houses, buy some mothers some houses too.
Yeah, no, for I think for me that last bit of it resonated with me. I think since I got here to this country and got the opportunity, I mean, both my brother and my sister could have gone to some opportunity to study or whatnot. They had the reasons why they didn't do it, but I took the opportunity and I took advantage of what I had. For me, as always, give back to them, give back to mom, give back to my brother and my sister. Honestly, whenever I was going through the hardest stuff through college, through being by my own over in commerce, dealing with all that bullshit that you already know that I was dealing with during those 4 years that I was out there, they were the ones who were there for me. So anything that I do now is try to do that, try to give back to them. Now I try to give back to maybe I don't give back specifically to my brother or my sister, but like now I have savings accounts for my nieces and nephews. Like I started savings accounts on the side for them. Obviously, I mean, my brother doesn't need to know. I mean, you think, well, they know because they're gonna watch this episode or whatnot. But I got a little setup aside for them, not because I have to, but because I know what they did for me, and being grateful to them doesn't mean that I have to give it back to them or pay it back to them. And for my mom, yeah, I think that's still one of my biggest goals, being able to purchase that home for her, be able to honestly for her to retire, man, to just
Yeah,
stop working or well, not stop working. She ain't never gonna stop working.
she's not
She's
gonna.
the
That's
hardest
that's the
fucking
irony,
worker
right?
I know.
Yeah, you could buy her everything. You could, but
She don't want to.
our people's goals is not actually. I don't think it's to stop working. It's just to not have to. It's to be able to do the work they want out of joy, not
Yeah,
necessity. Like I
that's
need to go
yeah,
to work
exactly.
rather than I'm going to go work.
Yeah. So that's my goal. I mean, I still got my mama, so hopefully one of these days I can accomplish that for her.
Let's
It,
make that.
it's
Let's make that our goal, dude. Let's get you to
yeah.
that place where you could sit there and be like, "This is your house, mom, and it's all paid for.
Mhm.
It's all paid for."
Yeah. You ain't gotta worry about it now. She's grinding, and I mean she's what? She's a little older than you. She's about 50. She actually just turned 56 a few days ago. Um, and she's been grinding, bro. 20 years that we've been in this country. The first couple, maybe like the first 10 years, two jobs, going in at 4 or 5 in the morning, coming home, picking us up from school, dropping us at home, giving us something to eat, and then going back to work. Coming at 10, 11 at night to what? To put us into bed, make sure we're showered, make sure we ate, and then go to bed for a couple hours and redo it again.
Yeah, dude.
So for me, being able to have her, I don't know, have her own business or have her own, just do whatever she wants to do and enjoy her life and enjoy, honestly, right now, enjoy her grandkids. She loves the three grandbabies that she has right now. It's a 3 year old, a 10 month old, and a 10 day old, 11 day old. So she's enjoying her grandbabies right now. She's on vacation, so I want to keep her on vacation for the
Right.
rest of her life once I get there. Being able to enjoy them babies and get to, honestly, whenever we were growing up, we didn't have much
Yeah.
time with our parents or with my grandparents. But let's change that generational mindset. We can leave generational wealth. We can leave that, but let's change our generational mindset. Let's change that generational drive to be better, to do better for our families, and to not just think about the money aspect of it or the financial status. Obviously, that's always going to help. But if you leave a life where you can have kids, grandkids with different mentalities, then your family and your
You did.
status is going to change
That's right.
overall.
That's right. You did impact generations of change just
Hmm.
with thought. It's the same thing. Well,
Yep.
listen, man, thank you so much for listening today. Our last 30, we went a different perspective,
Our
we took
next
a
30.
an email, the next 30 actually. You're
The
right
next
about
30.
that. What a unique perspective, right? And so thank you for that email, for that correspondence. Um, if you have a suggestion for us, if you have a suggestion for a guest, hit us up via email or go to the comments section. We'll respond.
Hmm.
And eager to get back on this, man. We're healthy again. We're doing our thing. We're gonna take care of our health so that we can keep doing this. And again, our goal is to interview 20 guests. I think we're at 9 or 10 at this point. We have some things lined up, and then Caesar and I will interrupt those guests' visits with he and I doing this as well. So again, thank you for listening today, and thank you for subscribing and for sharing this resource with others. Our last 30 minutes of podcast about life, death, and everything in between. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week. We'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Appreciate you guys. Keep dropping those comments. Keep dropping those emails.
Yeah.
Like I said, whenever we have those intermediate times where we don't have guests, we'll do things like we did today. Listen to what our guest wants to listen to, what they want us to talk about. So we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Thank you guys. See ya.